What's up, people? This is Who That College Edition with your favorite host, Trill Quet. And today, we got Who That South Carolina Gamecocks. 2023-2024 Women's National Championship as they beat Iowa and Caitlin Clark 87-75 in a close game, man. This game was a great game as we just seen the dominance of South Carolina, how deep they are, and how big, strong, and physical they are, man. Caitlin Clark and Iowa came out and jumped on South Carolina early with like a 10-0 run. And they was up big, like 20-9. And I was like, oh my God, man. This Caitlin looks motivated. Caitlin looks so good. She looks ready. She was amped. She wanted the championship. She heard all the noise that she needed a championship to be one of the best ever. And she was determined, man. That first quarter, she gave us 18 points. She had like 2 threes. She got fouled for 2 threes. She was determined to get her championship that first quarter. And then Don Staley made an adjustment. And that adjustment was putting Raven Johnson on her. When Raven Johnson was the primary defender on Caitlin Clark, she shot 5 for 20. And a quick glimpse of it was that second was going to halftime when Raven got that steal to go into halftime. Caitlin lollygagging Raven on her steal layup. For those who don't know the context with them two, last year Caitlin Clark did the wave off to Raven Johnson because she couldn't shoot, and Raven said she took that personally, and this was her revenge tour, and it ended well. Raven didn't shoot the ball well at all today. She shot 1 for 10, but her defense 100% won that game and was the big reason why South Carolina won the game. Because if you hold Clark, yes, Clark had 30, but remember, she had 18 in the first quarter when Raven wasn't checking her. Raven was checking her. It was box. It was. She only scored 12 points after that. So Raven Johnson, man, she's number one, a reason that South Carolina won this game. The second reason they won to me was their defense. I mean, not the defense, their rebounding. South Carolina out-rebounded Iowa 51-29. And you just seen it like early and seen it watching the game that South Carolina was too big, Iowa was too small. You got Stokely, Iowa's big man, is only 6'2". Cardozo is 6'7". Then they got number 2, Wilkins, coming in off the bench, and she is 6'6", I believe. And it's Watkins. I'm sorry, number 2, Watkins. She's aggressive with the rebound. She's getting every board. It was just too much for them. Cardozo ended with 15 points and 17 rebounds as she heads on to the WNBA. It's just this South Carolina team, man, was just great all year, and they just made the right plays at the right time every year. I mean, every time, every game. They was up big in the fourth quarter, like 12, and then Iowa made a push and cut it to like 6. Don Staley didn't call a timeout or didn't do nothing. She just looked at her team, like gave her them look, and they locked in and they went back up 10 and pulled away and won the game. Don Staley, I believe this year was her best year for herself and for her best coaching year herself and her best year ever. Her best team ever. This Don Staley team is the best Don Staley team ever. And I'm going to give you some numbers of why, and then watching the games why. This year they shot 40% from 3. They scored 85 points per game. Their win margin was about 29 points. They out-rebounded other teams about 13 more rebounds. And this team was so deep, man. Nobody played over 28 minutes, and they had a 9-man rotation. That's just crazy. And that's just put into perspective about how Iowa, they had beat Iowa today, and there was a 38-0 bench difference. And you look at all the great teams like LSU, Iowa, UCLA, um, UConn. They only play about 6 girls, 7 girls. She has a real deep 9-man rotation, and it's like a new player, a new girl who's going off today. I know a lot of people thought Cardoza was, you know what I'm saying, the big reason why they won or the big factor in this win, but you don't know that Tessa Johnson, a freshman, had 19 points. Malaysia Fawali, a freshman, gave you 9 points. Charlo Fitz, a new, not a freshman, but a newcomer from that was on the team last year, gave you 11 and 10. It's like it's so much. It's by committee. Raven Johnson, one of the best players, she was terrible tonight. Shot 1 for 10, only had 3 points, but they still won by 12. Like this team was so deep and they're so connected. There's no egos on this team. Each player wants to win, and winning is their common goal, is their common denominator. Don Staley, coach of there, is just amazing. Like Papoa, she seen them. She said she seen them seen South Carolina lose last year, and she was like, "Man, they need some shooting. They need some shooting. I come there next year, man. We gonna win it all." And that's what she did. She came and gave them 14 good points, and she shot, I think, maybe about 4 threes in this game, and they won the championship like she predicted, like she won it. This team is deep and loaded, man. Like I said, this is the best Don Staley's team ever. I know a lot of people may think about Aaliyah Boston. They may not have a player like tied to Aaliyah Boston, but the committee makes up for that and how deep they are and how they got freshmen that's not afraid of the moment and ready to step in and make plays. This shows how great and how deep this team is. Now, we switch to my girl, Caitlin. Y'all know I love Caitlin. I kept saying she's the best, she's the best, she's the best, but it's over. I can't say it no more because when you think about all the best, they got rings, they got championships attached to their name, and Caitlin is 0-2 in a big game. But this is what I do say. Caitlin Clark will be better in the WNBA than she is in college. I'm going to say it again. Caitlin Clark will be better in the WNBA than she was in college. Look at the last 2 games, how UConn and South Carolina checked her and got her. They really disregarded the rest of her players, blitzed her, and forced her to get the ball out of her hands. Caitlin Clark in the WNBA is either going to have 20 points or 20 assists a game. And if she really go off, she might have both. Because her ability to pass and find playmakers is so great. That is for 100% going to transition. You could talk about the shooting ability that maybe not transitional. I'm saying the WNBA defense is a little better, may be tough, but her ability to find teammates and to get them open is 100% going to work. She's going to have Aaliyah Boston on her team, who was a number 1 pick last year. That team is loaded, like not loaded, but they have playmakers to be ready that are going to be ready to catch and shoot or pick and roll with a shot or not miss easy bunnies as much as Iowa teammates did. Gotta think Caitlin Clark did that all by herself. I'm 95% sure there won't be another Iowa player drafted in this WNBA's draft. Wow. Caitlin Clark was the only, you know what I'm saying, WNBA talent on her team for 4 years, and she put Iowa on the map. What do you think about that? Yes, the greats have championships, and that's all of the GOATs that we say have championships, but they also had a side chick. They also had a Robin to their Batman. They also was a great, great other player on the side of them. Kate Martin and Stokely and Gabby Marshall are all decent, all good at best, but none of them are great. None of them can make plays on their own or can win games on their own like the other greats when they won championships. There were teams that were loaded. The South Carolina team had a bunch of players that can go play somewhere else and average 25. Malaysia Fawali could average 25 somewhere else. Cardozo could average 25. Paul could maybe average 25 somewhere else. Tessa Johnson could go average 25 somewhere else. There's nobody that can average 25 on Iowa but Caitlin Clark. And she took this team to the Final Four 2 years in a row, beating teams like LSU, South Carolina last year. tough West Virginia team. UConn. You name the top teams in the big in the tournament, in the Big Ten tournament, being a tough Nebraska team. Like when she's really able to get it done, or when it's not, I'm not gonna say too tough, but big games, she still shows up. She still gave 30 today, still put on a great performance. Her teammates, to me, you know what I'm saying, she had 30, and I think the others combined for, I want to say like 36, 37. So that's not going to be a problem in the WNBA. She's going to be able to maybe not have an off night, but score maybe 22, but get 12 assists with a win because she'll have better teammates and better Robins through her Batman or side chicks or something like they say. So you heard it here first, man. Caitlin Clark will be better in the WNBA. Not her numbers. No, I don't think she's going to, you know what I'm saying, break all these records like she did in the college game, but just her ability to, we'll see her start winning more, and her playmaking or as a player overall, I believe, will be a lot better in the WNBA. And for those who don't watch games but watch box scores, that sounds crazy to you because you don't see a lot of the missed layups, open bunnies, open layups, or open threes, or dropping the open pass that Iowa teammates does to Kaden Clark. And you won't see none of that in the WNBA. So, April 15th, tune in as y'all see her go number 1 to Indiana. And they already sold a lot of tickets. And she is not even in the league yet. That's why you see all these people hating on her. But that's it, man. SEC wins the championship again. Last year LSU won it. This year South Carolina wins it. And hopefully next year another SEC team wins it, as my Tigers win it next year. I had to slap my girls in there at least once an episode. But y'all know what it is. We watch games, not box scores. I'm Trill, your favorite host. I keep it 2 things: true, real. Peace.